Well, our friend Tim Atwood.
I feel so bad for him. He must be sitting at home crying right now about this.
So, this is where the Incredible Hulk sad music walking away comes in. He posted on Nintendo Age. It's not my favorite website, but it really is.
I thought it was your home away from home.
You know what? It's like a third cousin that you see like once every blue moon. You remember why you like some things about him, but you don't like others.
There's always a dirty cot there for you, though.
But then you realize he might have stolen your car at one point. I don't know. So he posted on Nintendo Age that he accomplished. First he posted that he wanted to accomplish things by bringing up the fact that he had all these sealed games, and the fact that he had 6 sealed state events that were left. And he posted a message that he accomplished it, and of course it was locked quickly after he posted. So he wanted to do a few things. Well, and he brought up the fact that people on Nintendo Age were attacking him unnecessarily, which they were, and they were just saying, oh, you're just in this for yourself, blah blah blah, and I went back to the fact that like the one thread said, I guess old Atwood wasn't telling the truth as the title of the thread, trying to expose him or something, and so he reiterated first a story about not a Super Mario, a Mario Brothers arcade game that. They got offers for it online at $4,500 and another for $10,500. Didn't accept any of those offers because he didn't want to sell it to those people. He wanted to find the right buyer.
They were people with high buy it nows. They were people who were obviously going to flip this.
Yes. So he found someone that he knew just wanted for the collection and gave it to him for $1. And he said he loved seeing the look on their face.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And then he also stated, my rare games aren't listed for the money, rather to find a deserving person that will cherish the game. So obviously people on Nintendo Age either didn't trust the guy or just jealous or whatever else, because they attacked him anyway and said, you're in this for yourself, you're in this to promote your games, blah blah, even though obviously he hasn't been doing that.
No. If he wanted to do that, he would have done it years ago.
He sold the freaking Power Punch 2 since this point, a Bigfoot, and the poster.
Right.
Which he was kind enough to give Ian and I a poster of Stay Events coming soon.
Yes, that's going on the wall.
That's all he's done. So he obviously had ulterior motives, and he revealed them here.
He had accomplished 3 things. He kind of, this was unintended, but he was happy that he found this. The first thing that he accomplished was that he found people to help. Meaning, through all of this, he has found collectors that he can place his games with where he knows they will have good homes. The second thing he accomplished, and I think this is probably the most important one, is that he's shown people that, especially people within the sealed collecting community, that these games are not as rare as the gatekeepers, quote, would like you to think they are. That they are out there, that they are available, and your ability to get one is no longer is no longer held by just a small cabal.
You're not beholden to people that want to basically control the prices on the market,
so they can feel like they have a big penis. And then the third one is fairly obvious. If you look at the first two, is he discovered who he won't help ever.
So people that attacked him, and he brought me up in the podcast in general, being that through the podcast. We got out the list of games. Right. Or most of it. There was a limit to YouTube with the amount, but I cut out the ones that are a little crappier. I left the good stuff, and they're like the 90% of the good,
right.
90% of the goodies that we went over about 3-4 weeks ago. So people know what he has. I can contact him, and then he can filter through himself if he wants to deal with people. Like, for example, maybe Ian wants a Clue Land at some point. Yeah. And then there's people he lists that one that he thinks was stalking him. And then Quest for NES talks shit about you behind your back. I think Quest for NES is a guy that's talked shit about me in the forum a lot. That name sounds familiar. And a few other names that don't matter to me at all. And then someone says, Captain Warmonger seems to think the posters aren't a collectible. Ask the 2 individuals that spent good money on the first one. They would disagree.
I already cherish mine.
You're going to just put that up on the wall next to the Bloodsport?
Did they come with certificates of authenticity, or do I potentially have a bootleg
You might have a bootleg Stadium Events coming soon poster.
Come on, buddy.
Is it a second printing like Ninja Turtles comics?
How am I going to flip this, Tim?
Sure. So he basically exposed members of Nintendo Age for what they are. without even really trying to.
Yeah. Just by existing. Just by having his collection.
By existing, by having a collection, and by trying to do good
Right.
in the hobby. He exposed people.
And that's the funny thing. By trying to do good, he made so many people angry. What a fucking world we live in.
Yep, it's really a shame, and I'll get into why more. It's a shame because this is where the story just begins. So someone then posted on Nintendo Age and got in touch with me about it, through Tim about he I guess through all this hoopla, Tim talked to someone on the forum. His name is Puppy Waffles. Oh, by the way, I forgot about this, but they banned Tim Atwood from Nintendo Age. One of the mods did.
Right.
By the way, isn't that lovely?
Yes.
That's absolutely lovely.
That was my comment at the very beginning. Was I bet you Tim's sitting at home right now crying over this.
We'll get back to that, but a forum where I did see a few comments saying we need a lot more Tim Atwoods on Nintendo Age, but apparently the moderators don't agree because they banned him. So we'll get back to that.
I really want waffles right now.
So Puppy Waffles. Puppy Waffles. How have you had waffles shaped like puppy faces?
That'd be great.
Kitten waffles. Kickstarter, Ian. He posted that Tim had given him a Kirby's Adventure, sealed. It's the French English version. I believe it's the one I have, and it's not extremely rare by any means. You know, it probably doesn't go for a huge amount. I don't know, $50, $60. I don't know.
Who gives a shit?
It was a gift.
Yeah,
it was a gift. It was a nice gift.
Yep.
Tim didn't say post it on Nintendo. He just said, "Okay, you want it? I probably got 40 of them. Yeah, have one. Yeah, why not?" He didn't have to do it. He posted on Nintendo Age saying, "Hey, I just want to show that Tim sent me something. It was nice of him to do." And he even said, "Please do not post your opinions about Tim's statements or anything else related. This is not a thread for you to complain about anything or justify why you dislike Tim or to tell me why you think a case of statements is stupid." So he basically said, "Oh, this is cool," and he had Tim sign the outside of, looks like, the plastic.
Yeah,
just a cool story.
So what bothered me so much about this, and we might be going in different directions here, but this is I got so fucking disgusted over this. One of the moderators actually tried to say, basically, tone it down, it's not that great of a gift, it's not that rare, blah blah blah, this, that, and the next thing, it's not like he gave you this or that, completely overlooking the fact, basically reaffirming everything we've said, that these people are concerned about nothing but value. It's the gesture that mattered here.
Let's be fair. There was a moderator named BA who said, "I love hearing stories of generosity. That's great stuff." But then, yeah, it got worse from there.
Right.
One person said an awful comment was like, "Well, that was like if Bill Gates gave you a random Xbox game."
That's the guy I'm talking about. He also went on to that. He was the one who was poo-pooing the gift because it wasn't worth enough. And it's like, these people are so fucking blind. They failed to realize that to this person it means everything because it was a kind gesture. It's one of their favorite games, and it's one that they've wanted. The value of it does not fucking matter. But to the person, the moderator who was complaining, yes, it was the value that mattered, and because it wasn't a high enough value, the gift therefore somehow lost its meaning.
Yeah. So there's this moderator named Kevbot with a backwards 3.
Neat. So
it sounds like that's one of the guys that Tim had a problem with that was sort of coming after him. And he's a moderator on the site. So
that's impartial.
Yeah. So it sounds like there was some fallout from this. Just from... it looks like there was some deleted messages or things... I don't know what's going on here. People on Nintendo Age, you can go after me if I'm not getting my story straight here totally, but it just sounds like there's a lot of tomfoolery going around here. Here's the issue.
A lot of shenanigans.
A lot of shenanigans. The issue is that you have people at Nintendo Age, moderators, are abusing power.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can say it. Not all the moderators, but some.
This is a new thing, isn't it? Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait, this has been your problem forever.
No, that's not. It's existed since forever when people were slandering me, libeling me in threads, and moderators like, it's fine, it's fair game. He's a public figure. Yeah, because that means you can libel me. Anyway, but you cannot or you should not have moderators getting when you moderate a website, you're supposed to be impartial.
Right.
Like literally, like unless you're breaking the forum rules, you shouldn't care.
Look at Albert from Atari Age. He very rarely dipped his toes into the whole Coleco Chameleon thing because Albert's a good guy. Love you, Albert.
So when you have moderators with their own agenda, or I'm not, like I said, there's some nice ones. Some even contacted me, try to get me back into the fold at Nintendo Age, which I think is cute. But whatever. They're trying to make nice, which is fine. But the fact of the matter is, you have some moderators that are pushing their own agenda or the agenda of their close friends on the site, who are maybe making money off a lot of repros that they don't own the rights to, or maybe trying to control prototype markets, or do backdoor deals, and then people watched it. Oh, that didn't happen. No, they're my friends. It doesn't matter. They can get away with it. Or things like that, or hoarding games. And they're my friends, so we shouldn't call them out. But someone like Tim Atwood, though, who's doing something great for the community, he's the bad guy. So let's ban him, and we'll just lock threads, even saying he might be a decent guy. Who, by the way, didn't come on to Nintendo Age until people were attacking him originally.
Right.
Because he didn't post that he owned the sealed statement events. Someone else did. It's just lovely. But the good news is that I have a feeling this got back to my pal Dane, who runs the site. And I think some of even the moderators are getting upset about.
So the moderators, I think, are getting upset, and I think a lot of the community is. And this could only be good for Nintendo Age.
Absolutely. If they clean up their act and say, we want moderators that aren't going to be fucking snarky and post in threads and then close threads.
Yeah.
Don't fucking post in the thread. Keep your mouth fucking shut.
Talk about absolute cowardice. Comment in a thread that you disagree in and then lock it so that no one can respond back to your stupid fucking comment.
That's not how you're supposed to run a forum.
No.
The moderators are supposed to stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to do a rule, like, hey, maybe the moderators, if they want to comment, they can't then control what the hell happens to the thread.
Right.
They've given up their right to control what happens in the thread. So, the only reason I bring this up is because there was a point. This is, I didn't want to ever bring this up before, but I figured it was time. Why not? Because it was like 4 years ago. Where Dane wanted to make me an admin on the site, Nintendo Age. And I was going to help run the site and do stuff behind the scenes, or at least be more involved in the moderation of the site, and well, that's when I had time too to do it. So I went to the moderators, said, "Hey, what do you think about Pat coming to help with the site?" And guess what the mods voted for?
Your death?
Pretty much.
Stoning?
So unfortunately, I mean, he guess he runs the site democratically, but Nintendo Age mods decided that Pat's no good for the site. So from there, it was a slow downward spiral.
You're a bad apple.
And I didn't bring it up till now because I figured it had nothing to do with it. But it just goes to show you that there's an agenda with the moderators. And I'm not saying if I was a moderator or admin on Nintendo Age, everything would have been, candy and roses. But at least me and guys like Tim are on the same page. And there are a lot of people that are on Nintendo Age that are members that are afraid to speak up because they're afraid of moderators coming down on him or, just ostracize them from the site. If you had more people like Tim as moderators or someone with my attitude more, it would be more balanced. But there is no balance overall. So it is what it is for now, but hopefully it gets cleaned up.
I'll never ban you from my site, Tim. I don't have a site.
What was your site? What was your forum be, Ian? Just like a candy forum?
I have no fucking clue.
80s candy?
I don't know what to do with the fucking internet.